Let's get a quick that. Okay. Being mean isn't about being mean for the sake of it. It's all about being willing to be nice, but also switch up your energy and show them that you have a mean side. This prevents a lot of people from taking you for granted. This will make you look more attractive. For example, in my experience, being able to go from nice to mean based on them fucking up and being disrespectful actually causes people to like you more, because sometimes people disrespect you because they're toxic as a way to test you, to test whether or not you have the capacity to be mean. And what will happen is that a lot of people test because they want to see how much you like them. If they know that they could get away with shit, then they know that they know that you believe that they're above your league. Because when you believe that somebody is above your league, you let them get away with shit. You let them disrespect you. And people who are really attractive are used to that. So this video is not about being mean for the sake of it. It's about not letting the people that you like get away with shit. Because when you don't like them, you don't let them get away with it. And people wonder, oh, why is it that when I don't like someone, they don't like me? They like me, but when I don't like someone, they like me back. Well, because you let them get away with that shit. That's why your favorite kid is the one that treats you like shit. Because the one that you don't like the most, you don't let that motherfucker get away with shit. But your favorite child, you let them get away with so much shit that child doesn't respect you. The only ones that, I'm like rapping, the only ones that respect you are the ones that you have less tolerance for their bullshit. Usually the ones you love. I know you love them, but you know what I mean, right? And so that's the topic of this video. And the good thing about this is that you don't have to have any facelift. You don't have to grow any more muscle. You don't have to gain more money. You don't have to do no spinneroonie. It's all about allowing yourself, because at the end of the day, being mean is not being mean from their perspective. It's you allowing yourself to be mean and being okay with that feeling. When you do that, you will realize there's a lot of power that comes in this. And it's not just that you're mean all the time, but that you know how to turn it on and turn it off. The problem is that some people either have that on too much for too long and they never turn it off, or some people have it off all the time and they never have ever turned it on. You get what I'm saying? So we're going to be talking about that, and we're going to include a clip from the movie Catch Me If You Can, where Leonardo DiCaprio actually applies the strategy we're going to be talking about today, and you can see the results. Even though it's a movie, being mean elicits respect, and if the person finds you attractive, they actually fall in love faster. Meaning, it's not that you can make anybody fall in love, but that the people who will fall in love with you will fall in love with you faster, right? Now, the first thing is that one aspect of being mean is that it communicates to you, the person that you're with, that you don't take shit from other people, especially if they know that you like them and you have the capacity to put them in their place. Remember, when I say mean, I mean you feeling like you're mean, because putting people in their place is not being mean. You're doing them a favor, right? But because of our self-esteem or our conditioning, we've been told that it's actually mean to call people out on their bullshit. But what by you doing this, you're communicating to them that, one, you have emotional strength, because it does take emotional strength to call people out. It communicates that if I'm in danger, you're also willing to get dirty to protect me. If you're doing it with me, you do it for me, right? It also says that you're able to protect me. It also says that you have a strong emotional immune system. I've experienced in my life that when I put a woman in her place, per se, right? Two things happen. If I'm justified, if I'm in the right, the woman will, one, if she's not toxic, she'll become more attracted to me. If she's toxic and I'm in the right and I'm calling her out, she'll find somebody else. And that's a win-win for everyone. Because narcissistic people don't want someone who has a capacity to be mean, because what you'll notice is that it'll turn into a brawl. Sometimes you do this to see whether or not they start attacking you, because remember, mean is all about justified action. I'm acting like this because you're fucking around. I'm acting like this because we agreed to meet up at 8 and you keep coming at 9, right? Sometimes people test to see whether or not you're strong. They test your strength. And they do that to find out whether or not you deserve respect. And children do that, like we're going to see towards the end of the video. Your partners do that. They want to see the meanness come out of you. If they don't see it, they will unconsciously lose respect. And the process of them falling in love will slow down. But if you pass that test, which it'll speed up and accelerate the inevitable.
Right. So let's begin with the video. And if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org. There you'll be able to book a one-on-one phone call with me today and talk to me. And don't forget, check out our Patreon. We have the Robert Greene Book Club on Patreon. We have the Mindful Attraction podcast. And we have the meditations. And if you guys don't want to go to Patreon, then just become a member with $5, and you'll see that we upload content on a weekly basis for the members. Okay, do that now, or else I'm closing the channel. Okay, so let's begin. I'm gonna give you guys an example of being mean. See this shit, man? This dog keeps shitting on my fucking floor. Okay? I already called him out on it. Right? And for me, it felt mean. Felt really, I don't like calling you out on that kind of stuff, right? But that's the thing. We have been manipulated into suppression our aggression. And what I really mean by mean is really aggression, right? So let's talk about this. So there's two warnings here. This is not an excuse to go Bronx mode on people. It's not an excuse to gaslight and to be manipulated, right? Where it's like me saying be mean to your kids, but what do I really mean, no pun intended by that. It's not to be mean for the sake of being mean. It's just that sometimes you have to do things that feels like you're being mean to them. Sometimes they cry and with their creepy cries, creepy tears, and you say, no, you're staying there. And you feel like you're being mean. And your inner mind, and your inner nice person, your inner creepazoid will say, no, Will, you're so mean. Oh, look at them. Ay bendito, they're so sad. Why you don't have to follow through on that. I think we all can relate to that. Puerto Ricans I call it the ay bendito syndrome, where you feel bad for setting your boundaries, and because of that, you pull away and you let them deal with their bullshit, right? So this doesn't mean to have Bronx mode. And being mean means boundaries, setting boundaries, and not being a doormat. That's what it means. It doesn't mean to just be mean for the sake of it. And what's funny is that like being mean for the sake of being mean, that shit works. But it only works with low self-esteem people, right? You don't want to do that. The type of meanness is just you having boundaries and you having to withhold your boundaries. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel, for me, it's a shitty feeling whenever I have to sit your ass down and have a conversation. It's a horrible feeling. I don't like it, but you have to do that, right? So it's not about it's about not being a doormat. So it's all about practicing controlled aggression. People from the south side of Chicago, listen up. Controlled aggression. All right, put the Glock. Bloop, 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 right? So you gotta be okay with sometimes being, feeling bad, right? You have to be okay with feeling like you're the bad one. For the simple reason that that's exactly what's gonna cause you to pull away and be nice and revert to your old habits, right? You gotta be okay with holding them accountable. And so, so that means if they disrespect you and you say, I'm gonna leave you, you gotta leave. If that means that they disrespect you and you say, get the fuck out of my house, you kick them out, you do that. The problem is that people notice when you don't keep your words, man. Like me, the thing that I hate the most, because I've hired people, is firing people. It really sucks. But if I don't fire people who are disrespecting my policies to work here, unfortunately, they're just gonna treat me like a doormat boss. Somebody that they don't respect. Right? So you gotta hold them accountable. And that means that if they fuck up, you have consequences with each thing that they do wrong. So for example, with me, if you cancel a date on me last minute, I'm not gonna see you today or tomorrow. I'm gonna see you 2 weeks from now. If you name call me, I'm gonna warn you once and I'm gonna get cold on you. Next day I'm gonna be normal. But I'm gonna warn you once. You don't do it again. Right? It could be that maybe you're too needy and creepy. And I'll be honest with you, this is my flaw. I have a tough time telling people, hey, you might be going a little bit too fast. Right? And so from their perspective, because I'm not stopping them, they might see me as needy because I'm not stopping them. Right? So the definition of being mean isn't being cynical, isn't inflicting pain for the sake of inflicting pain. It's really about having boundaries, right? Being able to walk away if they disrespect your boundaries. And when you do that, you're gonna feel like you're being mean. And honestly, it's okay to feel mean. In fact, if you feel like you're being mean because you're holding on to your boundaries, that's perfect. That means you're growing. You gotta get used to a certain level of aggression. You gotta get used to knowing how this feels on their skin when they fuck up. No, I'm not saying to hit them, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta be able to be okay with inflicting pain on people who are disrespecting you. Because a lot of times we reward that behavior with us chasing them more, right? So how do you do it? Well, you only do this when it's necessary. That's the first thing. You only do this when it's necessary. Because if you're perpetually looking like a fucking like you just ate a lemon, what happens is that people resent you. Right? People resent you, and it creates a disbalanced relationship, an abusive, toxic relationship. Because if you're being mean for the sake of being mean, without giving them a reason why that is, because they have to know why you're shifting your energy, right? Because at the end of the day, this is an energy shift. It's not that you're Terminator mode all the time, no, but that when they fuck up, then you shift your energy. Sometimes you may not have to do this. Sometimes you may not have to do this, right? But when you do, you have the capacity to do it. You have the capacity to do it, right? The problem is that when a lot of people try to withhold and try to keep their standards and like punish people for their disrespect or they try to uphold their standards, they do it the wrong way.
We're gonna go to a little commercial break.
Do you give off Terminator vibes because you're so masculine? Or do you give off nice girl, creepy, and needy vibes because you're just too feminine? The problem is that both sides suffer greatly in their business life, relationships life, and friendships with family and friends. And if you don't know how to fix that, you will repeat the same pattern your whole life and never escape. Well, guess what? I have a course for you, and it's called The Feminine Woman. It's pretty much a course on how to increase your self-esteem through practical means, not through giving you guys affirmation and wishing that you stop being terminators or you stop being needy and creepy goldfish. No, I'll give you practical things that by you doing this, if you're too masculine, I swear people will say there's something in you. You look more relaxed. You're just more comforting. You become more emotionally open because I teach you guys those strategies. It's a 5-week course. If you're too masculine, you are successful in life. You are successful in business, but you struggle with connecting. And so that course will give you practical things that if you're Terminator, you'll come out human, people. Like you'll just give off a more relaxed vibe. It's what I did in my life to heal me from my toxic masculinity. It's a 5-week course. And in that, I teach you guys how to let go of the past. I teach you guys how to use your feminine energy to influence without being too sexual, which might sabotage you. I'll teach you guys how to use the masculine to be assertive without scaring people off because sometimes it could be too much. It's a course that balances those things out, okay? So if you go Bronx mode, if you're too Beverly Hills mode, I'll teach you guys how to go Bronx mode, or better yet, South Side of Chicago type of shit. Well, now you're just a serial killer right there, right? And with this course has a 30-day money back guarantee, and if you purchase it, you guys also get access to the Zoom meditation group where we both meditate, or we all meditate on a weekly basis, and you guys get access to the WhatsApp group. And it's really a good course. If you guys don't like it, just ask for your money back. I mean, you guys can see the reviews right here. A lot of people like those reviews. and you'll see the results. And if you don't see the results, then I'll just give you your money back. Like I'm not gonna scam you guys if it doesn't work, but I know it's gonna work. So you do that now. Don't end up like Frida Kahlo. Right? Don't do that shit. Y'all just think you guys can break my rules and tell people you watch my channel. You can't do that. Okay? So purchase that right now. It's a lifetime. You get lifetime access to that course, and I'll see you guys inside. Take care. Let's continue with the video. Okay, so how do you do that, right? First of all, don't be afraid to criticize. And this is, again, a lot of people really don't give proper criticism to their partner. I swear to God. Some people are just stay quiet. It's like my boss, Georgina. One of the reasons why she had this intimidating aura, because if you guys don't notice about it, I worked for this lady who, she wasn't the top, but for some reason she gave off the vibes where people assumed she was the top, the main boss, but also people treated her as such. Even I respected her more than the actual boss. Thing about her is that when she criticized you, she had this black auntie vibe. She's like, Alexis, sit down. And I'm like, oh fuck. And she would look at me like that. What's this? Didn't I tell you multiple times to do this? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Georgina. And then she would like, here, do it right next time. Right? The coldness is appropriate to the situation. Right? Because you can't do this and they do nothing wrong. If I did a perfect job and she's giving me that energy, you're sort of like punishing right behavior. She would only bring it out, the criticism, when it was appropriate, based on something real, not because you're just trying to strategize it, right? And not only that, when she would bring it up, she lowered her nonverbal cues. Meaning, there was like a coldness about her. And by lowering those nonverbal cues, when she would tell me what was the problem, when she would tell me and express herself, it created pain and a fear, because it's like it's a mother effect where we're naturally compelled to be intimidated when somebody's talking to us in a stern way with a cold face. Like imagine the face of a wolf compared to a golden retriever, right? You got to go from golden retriever to wolf, right? And that is and she would do that perfectly. In fact, she had a permanent wolf look, but either way, right? Ideally, because she's not perfect, she doesn't watch my channel. Ideally, I would want her to have a normal, happy look, but be able to switch that off and be more serious. It's like Goku, right? When you watch Goku from Dragon Ball Z, he's serious, he's happy, but when there's somebody about to kill his family, he becomes serious. That shift, the energy shift, it matters. Because people then sense that there's depth to you and they become more attracted to you. This is really about them seeing that you have the capacity to shift their energy, them seeing that you're not afraid to call them out, because what this communicates is that you're willing to walk away. That's what that communicates. And your nonverbal cues, all of this creates a reaction of attraction. Now, if they're of the same sex and they're not gay, well then they'll react to you with respect. Like an example is like I always talk about the guy at school who we were talking bad about. We were laughing because we found a photo of one of his friends dressed like a girl. We found their photo on Tinder, and that Tinder was like in another state. Just pure coincidence. We were laughing about it, and he got pissed off. He was like, "Yo, I don't like the fact you're talking about my friend." And we're like, "Oh, my fault, man. Like we didn't mean it." And he wasn't. We were saying my fault. He wasn't budging. He was like this. Yeah, but you're talking about him, and he's not here. I don't fucking like that at all. And I'm like, oh, dude, chill, dude. In my mind, chill. What do I mean by chill? Don't be so mean. And he didn't let up. He was like, yeah, I just don't like how y'all doing that. And they were like, and the guy was like, my fault, man. I didn't mean to do that, man. He was like, all right, cool, man. Let's just stop talking about my friend like that. And that's it, right? After that, I respected him more than anyone. To this day, I bring that up. And mind you, I would not have done that. I would have felt awkward. I would have felt mean. But by him doing that, I gained so much more respect. And if I was a woman and I was dating him, right? For example, no dating. If I was dating him, that increase in respect also comes with an increase of love, an increase of attraction. Right? Now, we're gonna watch a video about there's a clip in the show in the movie Catch Me If You Can, and you'll see the clip of Leonardo DiCaprio walking into school, and you'll notice how they test him, and you'll notice how he changes everything up, all with his appearance, with his demeanor, and with his voice. But he has like a very nice boy. I could bully you type of look, right? He looks like someone who gets bullied, and you'll see how he's able to shift that. But that goes with this because him being mean wasn't him being mean for the sake of it. And the problem with people who watch this is because a lot of psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists, crazy motherfuckers will watch this and assume it's okay to go Bronx mode. No, okay? Like if you're a guy and you do this, you're gonna scare the woman out. It's just hints of meanness, puts people in their place. And when you put them in their place, they become deeply, deeply in love with you. Let's watch the video.
Avignon. Oh, somebody please tell me where you left off in your textbooks?
Right? They're not moving. Now he yells.
Excuse me, people, if I need to ask again, I'm going to write up the entire class. Take your seats!
Right? And that, the sternness, the change in pace, he only is doing that because it's necessary. My issue is when people watch this and they have anger issues and they think that that's how you go about things. That's not, right? You're not being strategic. You're being an idiot, right? Your anger, like Jesus, right? When Jesus went Bronx mode in Jerusalem, when he saw people gambling in God's house, he was like, "These motherfuckers, man, y'all gambling, yeah, legit." Jesus went Bronx mode, but he only went Bronx mode because the situation, it was the punishment, the crime. And when people observe that, they respect you, and whatever love they have will accelerate, man. I am telling you, it's a beautiful thing. I want you guys to practice this on children, right? And when you see them in the streets, you're like, motherfucker, don't do that. Practice it in your class, practice it with your friends. When they fuck up, tell them, right? And make sure that when you do it, you don't do it with a fucking creepy happy smile, because if you did that shit like, hey class, okay, no, that bully would have bullied him. He did it with sternness. And that's what humans react to. They don't react to softness when they fuck up. All right. Anyways, man, let me know what you guys think about this. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.